Welcome back to Photoshop Basics on PSD Touch Plus. I'm Martin Perhiniak, and today we are going to talk about pixels, image size and resolution. Some really useful theory that you need to know if you work with digital images. First of all, Photoshop is a pixel-based image editing application, which means that most of the features are based on working with pixels. Of course, we have some vector tools and also 3D object tools in Photoshop, but the most important thing is to understand what is a pixel. If I zoom close to a photograph, you will see those little building blocks that makes up an image file. So every pixel can save one color information, and it is like a mosaic. If I zoom out, all these little building blocks will make a nice smooth image from a distance. The more pixels you have, the larger image you can print and use in your work, but it doesn't always mean better quality. Resolution is a really important definition, and usually we use PPI, which means pixel per inch, or dots per inch, which is the DPI, for measuring resolution. The only thing that you need to know about resolution is that the smaller resolution you use for print, the larger image format you'll have, but the quality will always be worse with smaller resolution than with a larger resolution. So as you can see, for commercial printing, the 300 pixel per inch is a standard. It gives a smaller size in print, but a much better quality. The 300 pixel per inch actually means that on an inch distance, we print out 300 pixels from the original image. To understand this, I go back to the image and I go to image size options. And here you will see that this image is made up of more than 3000 by 2000 pixels. If I multiply these two numbers together, I will get 24.5 million pixels, which is a lot of pixels. And if I use 72 pixel per inch resolution, I can print this image out with a larger width than 1 meter. But that print won't be a nice quality print, because I only use 72 pixels on an inch distance. So in the actual print, we will be able to see the original pixels. So the print will be pixelated. To have a nice and smooth image, we need 300 pixels on an inch distance. And I will change that now, but make sure that you uncheck resample image if you want to increase the resolution without increasing the file size. So now I increase the 72 to 300, and just check in the meantime the document size, how it's going to be changed. So I change resolution now to 300. And you can see that we work with the same pixel sizes, but now the document size, or we can say the print size, is much smaller. If I click on OK, it won't change anything in the document, only when I print this image out. I will get a smaller size print, what you see here on the right, but with a better quality. So it's always a balancing act between print size and quality when you work with pixel images, because they are resolution dependent, while vector images are resolution independent. That's the advantage of vector images. But why does Photoshop use pixel images then? Because the advantage of pixels is that we can use lots of photographic effects on pixel images. In this tutorial, I would like to also introduce a new tool, which is called the crop tool. So I just go to this image with the Stonehenge and I show you my panels. Just like in Bridge, if you use the tab key, you can show or hide your panels. And I select the crop tool, which is the fifth tool here on the toolbar. I select that tool and I would like to change the crop of this image. I would like to make a panoramic image from this landscape format photograph. So I click on the left edge of the image and I draw a crop like this. You can always change the crop before accepting it. And as you can see in CS5, we have the rule of thirds indicated by these vertical and horizontal lines, which is a great feature because it's always good to compose your image according to the rule of thirds. For example, with this photograph, I will use the first line for the horizon. This is a really common way to compose images, and when I would like to accept the crop, I can click here on the top on this icon, or I just simply press enter or return on the keyboard. So this is one way to use the crop tool, but you can also use it for another thing. You can also expand your canvas. If you select the whole image now, and then you drag the crop tool a little bit further away from the edges on each side, and then press enter, you can quickly add a frame to your image by expanding the canvas. The color that Photoshop uses for this framing is always the background color here on the toolbar. The default color for foreground is black and white for background. This is all what we need to know about pixels and resolution, but we also need to learn more about colors. So in the next video, I will talk about color modes, bit depth, and proofing. Thanks a lot for your attention and see you next time.